Hello, and welcome to the Practical AI for You AI Chatbot series. You're probably watching this video for one of two reasons. Either you haven't tried to use an AI chatbot yet, or you've tried using an AI chatbot and you really just didn't see what all the fuss was about. In this video, we're going to take you through 3 examples where we're using a web search, in this case Google, and we're comparing the results to an AI chatbot, which in this case will be ChatGPT. We're going to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of both tools, and we're going to tell you how to get more out of your AI chatbot queries. This is an introduction to those topics, so let's get started.
For decades, web search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo have been the backbone of online exploration. Think of them as librarians with encyclopedic memories. So let's get started with our demonstration. Our search today is for which streaming service is best for families. And of course, we're going to Google it first. Let's go ahead and get started with our Google search for which streaming service is best for families. Go ahead and hit enter, and you'll notice Google comes back almost instantly with its recommendations for us. You can see there's a movie up here. There is a website called Switchful. We have other choices, including what are other questions people ask that are similar. Down here, you can see that there's a Reddit post with exactly the search criteria we're looking for. We can scroll down some more and we'll see popular sites like CNET and Tom's Guide, where they also respond to best streaming services for kids or maybe just best streaming services. Web search engines are constantly evolving. Their model of indexing data and retrieving it based on the keywords that you type in is limited. Today, there's an alternative to web search engines like Google, AI chatbots. ChatGPT was the first and is probably the best known AI chatbot, and it only came onto the scene in November of 2022. Many others have followed. AI chatbots can be thought of as conversational guides with not only encyclopedic memories, but also the ability to interpret, contextualize, and personalize responses. Chatbots simulate a dialogue, summarizing, adapting, and even applying knowledge creatively to suit the user's unique question or needs. They combine the precision of a librarian with the conversational flexibility of a knowledgeable friend or assistant. I've switched to a window of ChatGPT in my browser, and I've entered in our search criteria. I'll hit this arrow and it'll start responding. You can see immediately that the response from ChatGPT is very different from a Google search. The Google search is coming back with a bunch of different indexed values from across the internet that align or match with the keywords we used in our query. ChatGPT is taking the input from our query and actually answering our question with information that it was trained on. So as we scroll down, we'll see that it's made a prioritized list with different options, and it's providing key recommendations at the bottom. With ChatGPT, all we need to do is scan this information and make our decision. Now, right down here, it says ChatGPT can make mistakes, check important info. So, as we're scrolling through here, if we decide Disney Plus is the right answer for us, we should definitely go out to Disney Plus and see what the cost is. That's one of the things you would check while using ChatGPT. Now let's go back and compare the results of our interaction with Google and ChatGPT. In this slide are a couple of screenshots from our interaction with both tools. As you will see on the left side, the first time we searched Google for the best family streaming service, sponsored ads were at the top of the results, pushing potentially more useful information down to the second screen. On the other hand, ChatGPT provided a concise response with a list of relevant services in order with costs and included a brief explanation of the features of each. There's also a helpful summary at the end of the list. Let's compare both tools on another example, this time related to travel. Let's say we're making a trip to Newark, Ohio. We're going to type in, I'm looking for hiking trails within 20 miles of Newark, Ohio that are good for beginners, have scenic views, and take about 2 to 3 hours to complete. Okay, let's get started on our Google search regarding trails near Newark, Ohio. Immediately, Google comes back with Black Hand Gorge State Preserve, which I happen to know there are trails there, but this really doesn't answer the question. Let's enter the same information, the same request into ChatGPT and see what it tells us. Just as before, ChatGPT is working on our answer. We can watch it type the results as we sit here. And it's coming back with, it looks like 3 trails that meet our criteria. Those trails look great, but maybe we want a couple more options. And we want to know how long it will take to hike the new trails. It has done exactly what we asked it to do. It's suggested 2 more trails, and it's estimated how long it would take to complete. Now let's say I want to share this list with a group of friends. Let's ask ChatGPT to combine the list and include the time for each. Now that we have a complete list, let's ask ChatGPT to retype the list and add the highlights from each of the trails. Based on our feedback, ChatGPT is going to regenerate the list for us, and it's done it with all of the trails that it previously suggested to us. If you were trying to make plans with friends to go take a hike, you go ahead and copy and paste this into an email and say, hey, here are options for this hike. And what do you think? Pretty useful information. Of course, if you got the right specialized website back in your search from your Google search, you would have the same information. It's time to demonstrate a more personalized request. Let's say we are a vegan who is allergic to a protein found in soybeans. So today we want to find a recipe for vegetable lasagna without tofu, which is made from soybeans. All right, let's do our Google search on our vegan lasagna using zucchini. And immediately we come back with an error message. Your search did not match any documents. From experience, I know that there were too many keywords and it didn't match them all, so it wasn't comfortable returning a response. Let's just simplify the search so we can come up with something. It immediately comes up with several recipes. Go ahead and click on one of these. We have our vegan lasagna, lots of good pictures. One of the things that we'll notice right away is tofu, ricotta, and vegan mozzarella, so not going to work for us. Now let's try creating that recipe with ChatGPT. Here we are in a window of ChatGPT with our vegan lasagna recipe request. In the interest of time, I let ChatGPT do its thing. As you can see, it has zucchini for the filling instead of using tofu. It gives you a recipe for a homemade filling. Cashews soaked in water, talks about the sauce and the layering. So typical recipe instructions, tells you how to bake it, how to serve it. And then at the end, it has soy-free notes. So not only were the cheeses potentially an issue, but it also talks about the nutritional yeast, marinara sauce, and non-dairy milk where they could contain soy products. Most of you are very familiar with web search and are aware of its strengths and weaknesses, but let's hit the highlights. On the strength sides, it's accessible. It's on our phones, it's on our PCs, it's on our tablets. It offers a lot of variety, offers diverse sources including text, images, and videos. It's very fast. We're very familiar with it. It covers an almost unimaginable breadth of topics. It's constantly updated, and we don't have to enter personalized information to get a general result. Now let's talk about the weaknesses side. Information overload. It can return way too much irrelevant information based on our queries. There are credibility issues. Misinformation or low-quality sources can dominate our results. Ads and sponsored content are prioritized over relevant content. It only provides surface-level insights in a lot of situations. There are navigation challenges. We have to know exactly the right keywords to get the results we want to get, and it has limited contextual awareness. Let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of chatbots. Let's start with their strengths. First of all, they demonstrate contextual understanding. They can interpret and adapt to our queries. They can also personalize those responses based on our preferences and past interaction. They are interactive, can engage in back and forth conversation with us for clarification. They're efficient. They provide concise, direct answers without requiring multiple searches. They're versatile. They can perform many tasks, including answering our questions, generating new content, or summarizing existing content. They can explain complex topics by breaking difficult concepts down into simpler language. They can save us time by summarizing information, and they can be integrated into various tools, enhancing workflows. Let's talk about the weaknesses in AI chatbots. Chatbots are very dependent upon the data they were trained on. There can be accuracy limitations based on the quality of that data. They struggle to handle ambiguity. Poorly phrased queries will not get you what you want. Again, based on the data, they may have bias in their responses or have limited domain expertise. Verification may be needed. If it's critical or sensitive data, you may need to go elsewhere to confirm the answer the chatbot gave you. There's a risk of over-reliance on a chatbot, where we might depend too much on AI, bypassing critical thinking. There can be privacy concerns, potential for misuse of sensitive data shared during those interactions with the AI chatbot. Let's summarize what we experienced today. Web search and AI chatbots serve complementary but distinct purposes. Web search excels at comprehensive research with verifiable sources and multiple perspectives, making it essential for academic work and fact-checking. AI chatbots offer instant, interactive assistance with personalized explanation and efficient summaries, ideal for brainstorming, quick queries, but may require fact verification and have limitations in accuracy. So which tool should you use? For optimal results, users often benefit from using both tools. Use web searches for in-depth research and source verification, AI chatbots for quick answers, brainstorming, or conversational assistance. In our next video, we'll dive into the features, advantages, and disadvantages of some of the most popular chatbots like ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Claude, and Perplexity. Hope to see you then.